All right. Welcome back to the stream. People on YouTube, welcome back to another video. I am going to continue where I left off. That is basically Scar. I need to finish his skin tones. And that's what we're gonna do today. Cleaned out my airbrush last night, so everything should be ready to go. And we're just gonna continue where we left off yesterday. Gonna finish up this base coat, and then we're gonna move on to layering the skin, basically. Trying to create the effect of that there's things underneath the skin. So veins, blood vessels, stuff like that. So that should be very interesting. And the other ones are already base coated. They are basically ready for the next step. It's just Scar we couldn't finish yesterday because it was almost 3:30 in the morning when I stopped streaming, so I had to call it a night basically. Scar is definitely not gonna be my favorite to paint because of the netting. He's got quite some nice detail underneath that netting, so it's such a shame that netting is kind of breaking up all of that detail every time that a string of that netting is painted black. You're basically painting over a lot of detail. But it sets him apart from his companion pieces, basically. Almost done. Perfect timing. Okay, so what's next? Next up is the continuation of the skin, basically. Don't fall over, basically. So what are we going to do next? We are going to do skin tones, adding different colors to the skin. Mostly blue, red, yellow, green, brown. And we're just gonna play with a bunch of colors and see where we end up. Oop. Okay, what we want to do first is we're gonna see he's got some veins sculpted in right there. We want to emphasize those by painting them blue. And it's gonna look a little bit goofy at first. Mixing up dark blue with ultramarine blue, both by AK Interactive. And I'm going to take my smallest brush. I actually need a liner brush, but I haven't found one yet. It's super fine, super small, but I need a liner brush because it's longer. I can control it a little bit better. There we go. It's just to emphasize that vein in the sculpt because it's popping out of the sculpt, so you just want it visible, and we're gonna bury it, and it's gonna be real subtle, but you're still gonna see it, and that's what we're going for, just like real skin. Make that a little bit more interesting because it just adds a little bit of, or we can mess it up and start over. And you can, it's a little bit too heavy, you can dumb it down with the airbrush, basically. There we go. Just keep it a little bit random. Let's check if there are any more. Okay, we're gonna start with red, and we're gonna go real subtle. We're gonna take a mix of dirty red and blood red. We're gonna do 1 drop dirty, and we're gonna do 3 drops of blood. I'm gonna thin it down with 20 drops. I'm gonna mix that real good. I'm gonna see how the consistency is, and we want like a super transparent red. And you wanna mix it real good. You don't want it too heavy. I'm gonna add a little bit more, and we are gonna play with the trigger control and the airflow control until we get this super transparent thin lines, and sometimes you have to keep adjusting it. That's what we're looking for. Super thin transparent lines basically. And we're gonna spray it in an uncontrollable random pattern basically. And we're gonna do that all over the skin. Just random. That's better. This seems to work better. Just applying random, that red randomly. Real subtle. Never staying in one place basically. Okay, so what we've done, I have sprayed some red over there so that you get like inconsistencies in the skin, which is what we want. But I think my red paint is just being a pain in the ass. So we're gonna knock it down a few layers. Clean out the color cup. Okay. Now we want some green. Yeah, that's better. One drop interior light green, and then Australian camouflage green. So 3 colors. And instead of water, I'm gonna add only thinner because didn't get a good result with water. Holy moly. What are you doing to me, man? What are you putting on the pressure? Jeez. Hey man, how you doing, man? How was your stream? I caught you earlier. 184, man. Oh wow. You're putting me on the spot, bro. I was just stream, bro. Holy crap. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for let me talk to you guys real quick and tell you guys what I'm doing. I am painting this model, and that model in the back, right here, and then to top it off, that model as well. So I'm painting 3 models. Thank you for the follow. What I'm working on is the skin, basically. I'm trying to create a layer of skin details that would look like your own skin. If you look at your hand, for example, you see all different colors, right? You see your veins are blue, and your high spots are a little bit red. And some people have green and yellow and brown, and that's what I'm trying to create with my paint job right here. And I'm doing 3 models at once. Because they are brothers. They are the predators from the Alien vs. Predator movie, and I'm trying to kind of create the movie look. Basically, that's what I'm doing. These statues have been sculpted by Narin. Narin is known for doing Alien and Predator statues, and he releases them as model kits. So he releases, like, for example, he releases 100 model kits, and you get them unpainted, basically. So, and that's basically what I'm painting right now. And I've been streaming in the past a lot, but had to take a little bit of a break. And I recently returned to Twitch, so you guys caught me at my return, basically. So that is what I'm up to. And the painting process is sometimes a little bit difficult, and I have to do a lot of tuning with the airbrush, but it's progressing fairly well. Let me know if the volume is right. If the music is not too loud, if my voice is not too loud, stuff like that, let me know. What I'm doing, I went in with the red earlier, just before you joined. And right now I'm adding some green. It will knock down the red a little bit. And I am also trying to kind of blend in that vein that I've painted up. I want to create the illusion that it's underneath the skin, basically. And we're going in with lots of different colors. You won't see the green right now. It's so close to the base color. It's a very pastel kind of color, the green that I've mixed up. You can see it in the color cup. It's like a pastel green. So it's really hard to see. But it'll let me knock down some of that red. And it'll create like a different... The green will show up once I go back to the original skin color. Then you'll see the different... the different colorations, basically. But because the colors are so close right now and they're kind of mixed together, you're not gonna see it right away. But right now it's super hard to see the green on camera. That is, but I do with the naked eye. I can see a color shift basically, and I can see that the colors are starting to blend together. So, for example, if you look at the red right here, you can see a red spot, and when I add some paint, it's gonna get buried a little bit, but you're still gonna see it. And that's basically the idea. Okay, he is done for this stage, so we're gonna go to the last one. Need to do some quick touch-ups. And my paint cup is empty. So now that the bodies are done basically with the red and the green, I'm gonna start with the hands. I'm just gonna apply that red real random. And like you can see that this guy is holding a skull. Like that, if I can get it. There we go. He is holding the skull, and he's got really long blades on the underneath the armor, and they're kind of shooting out like that. And there will be a spine attached to the skull so that it looks like he made a fresh kill. Basically, that is what it's going to look like. But if you guys follow the stream or follow the channel, you will be able to see me finish up the project. Basically, this is another hand from one of the other ones. It's also holding a skull. This is basically a project that I will not be able to finish in just 1 or 2 streams. It's definitely going to be a project for a longer period of time. And that is all it needs. Just random red patterning basically. And the red basically simulates blood vessels underneath the skin. It'll help to break up that even skin tone basically, so that the skin is just not just one color. It's just as simple as randomizing your spray and just not staying in one place too long basically, so that you don't get like a spot that stands out. You want that randomness, and you still want that base coat to come through basically. So you can see that the red, if the camera wants to focus, whoop, there we go. You can see a real subtle red effect on there. In with the naked eye, it's much more clear basically, but on camera, the camera seems to wash out certain colors more than others. After we're all done, we should have like a really diverse mix of colors that make up the skin basically. So that original color, that is basically this color, is gonna have all these little inconsistent dots and color shifts and stuff like that. So when the light is shining it from a different angle, for example, the color is going to shift. So from above, it will look, the light from above will make it look different than when the light is shining from the side or from the back. That's basically how your skin also works. So that is accomplished by adding all of these different colors. And that's basically way more realistic that way. Just want to go for some final passes. Here's a little bit light. I'm just gonna check the consistency by dipping the brush there and then putting it against the mixing cup, and if it flows right down again and it leaves like a transparent green color, that is what I'm looking for. Sometimes you can go a little bit more heavy, sometimes you can make it even more transparent, but it's whatever you prefer basically. Zoom in a little bit better. And if you pay close attention to the red, you'll see that the red is gonna start, it's not gonna disappear, but it's gonna get knocked down. And that's all I'm gonna do to it. Just blow a few little random spots of green. You can do like a random pattern like this. And then we've knocked down the red, but it's still visible. That's all we want. And here you can clearly see that it's turning a little bit more green than it was. So if I hold it like that, you see that you see the sand color and the red, and once I start adding the green, you see real subtle a color shift to the green. It's real subtle. And it's important to do it to every part of the skin so that it looks like it's supposed to be part of the same character basically. So now what have we done? I still have the yellow that I have to do, but I'm thinking about mixing it up with a Sahara yellow, which is more orange brown, or I could go for a golden brown. I'll see what I can do. I don't want to get I don't want to go too yellow because it'll turn it real light, and I want to wait for that stage. That stage is basically one of the last stages where you're gonna define muscles and stuff. So you're gonna make the muscles that are higher, you're gonna make them lighter, and then the deeper parts go a little bit darker so that you get shadows, and it's the sculpture basically is a little bit more defined. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do some sand yellow, which is close to a really pastel-y color. Then I'm gonna do, no, I'm not gonna do ice yellow. I'm gonna do Sahara yellow, which is more like a brownish orangey kind of, yeah, sand color. And then we're gonna do golden brown, one drop. I'm gonna mix that up, get some thinner. We're gonna go for the yellow, and the yellow is gonna show up, it's gonna make that brighter, a lot brighter. So before we're gonna do that on the big model, let's try that out for on the hands first and see if that is what we're looking for. That's a really nice color. So we're gonna see, we're gonna take this fist right here. I don't know if the camera is picking that up, but it's adding a lot of brightness basically. I don't know if the camera is picking that up. Right here you can see it. If I twist it and keep it in the light like that, you can see it became a little bit brighter. I don't want it everywhere, just random patterns basically. And I think I want to go in with the blue again later, after the yellow. And now, that's a little bit too much. If I turn it into the light, you can see that. You can see the. I hope the camera is picking that up. Let me look at the stream, how that turns out. You can see the green is coming through, the yellow's coming through, the red's coming through, the original skin tone is still visible, and those colors are all complementing each other. And when I add the blue, it's gonna simulate the bluish kind of hue that's underneath the skin as well. So yeah, it's kind of practice and kind of know what colors you're working with. It can be challenging and intimidating for sure. There we go. And we're not even close to being done, because those high spots right here, those little bumps, those are gonna be dark brown, basically almost close to black. It's also it's also oh wow, now you can clearly see the yellow. See how the light made that a lot more visible than when I'm showing you. Now you can clearly see it. So the light changes how the color shifts basically. And now it's funny that the camera is showing that much brighter than it actually is. So that's how light affects that color blending basically. Now I'm just gonna go in random. Oh, hang on. Let me adjust the camera. Look at my amateur hour right here. It's funny that now you can hardly see it again. And if I want to, I can go in with a secondary green to make the green a little bit pop out a little bit more. But for now, I'll see what I have to wait and see what the blue is gonna do. It's funny how the yellow, I don't know, the camera is not picking that up real well, but in certain spots the yellow, because it blends with the blue and stuff like that, and it's sometimes shows up as green, which is really cool. It's a really cool effect because it's really subtle. So he is next. That is Celtic. He is the second one to die in the movie, but he's by far has the coolest biomask. And he is, let me get his hands. He's got the net gun that he uses in the movie. And then he has the hands like that. Once I start with the brown, it's gonna become a lot more interesting, because then we're gonna go into the territory of blending dark into light. So, for example, the parts where he's got all these bumps, the crocodile skin basically, those are gonna be much more brown, but then when the bumps stop, it's gonna go to light basically, and that'll be interesting to kind of make that look like it's faded, going to fade into one another, and not look like goofy basically. Okay, he is done for the yellow. And then we have the last one. Okay, now this guy is definitely the more difficult one, because he's got the netting on his body, which just when you're painting details, it's gonna that netting is gonna break some of the details up, and I hope that is gonna look good in the end, because I don't know, I don't particularly like the netting on a sculpture like this. I definitely prefer it without, but we'll see what happens. Okay, clean out the airbrush again.